For Pythagorean.
No. Pythagorean theorem. Love that one.
Okay, high school. Get to work. Y'all both behind. I've been informed by your teachers. Get to work. Hypotenuse. You need to know what the hypotenuse is. Hypotenuse. What do you remember? Yeah? It is the longest, and this is the most important one. The longest side. That's right. Of a right triangle.
So a 90 degree.
That's right. Therefore, it is also opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay, so hypotenuse. That is the most important thing you need to know. The hypotenuse. It's the longest side of a right triangle.
What is called the Pythagorean theorem?
Pythagorean theorem.
That's what I wonder. Why is that the same thing as Pythagorean theorem?
That's the, you're just mispronouncing it. Pythagorean theorem.
I thought it was Pythagorean theorem. No. She's right.
It's the Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem.
I'm not going to have a 10-year-old correct me.
I'm not 10. Close enough. This is 10-year-old.
All right.
That's like calling Miss Rogers 1,000.
I am 1,000.
I know. She's had the last supper.
All right, so
Read
if this is your right triangle, because there's a little marker that says this is your right angle, then the hypotenuse is this longest side here. Okay, so the hypotenuse, I like saying hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. We can use a formula to find the unknown length of a side, Joseph, in a right triangle. So what's important here is that everything we're doing works only when you have a right triangle. Any other triangle will not work with the Pythagorean theorem.
Mine all look the same size.
Okay, we'll fix it then, because it needs to be the longest side. It's the opposite side of the 90-degree angle, so you can go with that. Valeria, are you doing your IXL or Khan Academy?
Yes. I'm just checking how much I have.
She emailed you, didn't she? Yeah, I know.
It keeps going.
Valeria, that's why I'm telling you. She's got a lot too. And she told me she was going to email you last night. Yes, she did.
Are they already in Disneyland?
Yes. So get to work, girlfriend.
They're having fun.
I guess. Dr. Gatt keeps sending me pictures and it makes me mad, so I don't want to look at them.
Who's sending you pictures? Can we look
Dr.
at
Gatt, no.
Oh
Okay, so here's the formula. Will you stop talking? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I tell you, you should have been ready to go instead of sitting there flapping your gums.
You were flapping your gums.
I'm ready to go. There's a difference. Yes, Kelly.
Wouldn't you have added the exponents?
No, no. You only add the exponents if you're multiplying and the bases are the same.
Oh.
Okay, so the formula, this is the formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You have to have that memorized. A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
I'm sure you've all heard that before.
Where, like the Pythagorean theorem,
Pythagorean.
where a and b are legs,
I didn't get a new email from her.
huh?
I didn't get a new
But you got those things?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's all you need.
Okay.
And C is the hypotenuse.
That's funny sounding.
That's why I like saying it.
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. You can impress your parents with your new vocabulary.
I already impressed them. I got that. I already impressed them with my
Well,
vocabulary.
good.
And my dad, like, I'll say a word.
Are you finished writing?
I have one word.
Well, then write the word. Don't say the word.
And hypotenuse.
I am.
Wait, is that an O or an E between hypot?
That's pot.
Pot.
Hypot.
That's an O. Pot. Hypot. And noose.
Hypot.
Hypot. Okay. You high schoolers miss this class, don't y'all?
Yes. I do. I'm gonna be honest, I do. I got like 50 assignments on Khan Academy.
What is called?
Don't worry about it.
Can she give me any more?
It's like a different kind of IXL.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's worse. I would argue that's
I've heard like if you get one wrong, it's like for a grade. That's what I've heard.
No.
What?
I've heard like I don't know. I think Andrew or somebody said something about
Andrew lies.
the one. What? He lies?
He's a liar.
Why?
You can't believe anything he says.
Why can't you believe anything he says?
Because he's a liar. I just
No,
told
he's
you.
not.
Oh, why?
He lies about everything.
Like,
He lies about his age, his name.
His name.
He does not lie about his name.
His real name is Bartholomew.
See? Ariel even knows he's a liar.
His name is not Bartholomew.
He's actually 25 years old.
I know, see?
No, he's not.
They know
He got
that.
held back quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's why he
that-
has to shave every once in a while, because then his beard grows, and then everybody will notice his secret.
He's a magic beard like Rapunzel.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a
See-
comment, but I probably shouldn't.
I totally miss the high school that they can take something and just run with it. Alright.
So it's
Alright, so typically A is the shortest side. When doing the math though, it doesn't matter if it's A or B, but typically A is the shortest side. Okay? Alright, so you gotta learn A, shortest side, typically. B, these are both called legs, and the hypotenuse is the longest side there.
B and C kind of look the same. I mean,
Okay,
don't they?
now, just a refresher, we're going to be doing a lot of this. What does this mean, Joseph?
square root of 4.
Is
2.
Joseph, let's try again. Square root of 16 is?
4.
Kelly.
Is it two?
The square root of 121 is?
I think I know this.
No.
I know
11.
Huh?
11.
And Atalia, square root of 100? Very
I thought you were
good.
gonna say a million.
it.
Okay.
Million.
Gonna be like, that's
So we're going to be dealing with this.
We're gonna deal with it.
We're going to be dealing with it.
You gotta teach.
You gotta deal with it.
Now, shh. And instead of giving you all kinds of words for notes, I'm just going to do a bunch of examples.
Yay.
What is wrong with your face, Atalia? Why are you looking at me like
There's
that?
a lot wrong with my face, dude.
No, how do you do that with your eyebrows?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You got one going way down. Yeah, why?
I
Oh my gosh, you can alternate?
My dad does that.
Yeah.
My dad does that.
Look.
Are you serious? See, how do you
Wait, you know that one scene?
how do you do that? Wait, I can't do
Miss
that.
You
Rogers.
know that one scene from
I'm
Tangled?
trying.
Wait, what?
Miss Rogers, look.
Is that
Yeah, the smolder from Tangled.
With Flynn Rider?
Yeah.
Flynn Rider?
I don't even know what y'all talking about. How do you do oh no. See, she does something weird with her eyebrows too. Oh, how do you do that?
I can do a W with my tongue too. Wait.
That's Clover.
Clever tongue.
Alright, moving back to math. Y'all are a special group of people. Alright.
You're just not special.
Given two legs of 8 and 15, find the hypotenuse. Alright, given two legs of 8 and 15,
That's weird. It's probably lopsided.
find the hypotenuse. Okay, one of the things I typically suggest to my students, especially at the beginning, when you're just now learning this, draw the picture. Sometimes a visual does help. So they said given the two legs. Now we have 8. Which side would 8 go with? A or B?
B or A is A.
That's all right, it's A. So they said, given the two legs, find the hypotenuse. Because sometimes they'll give you the hypotenuse, you got to find a leg. That sounds funny. Okay, so this time they gave you two legs. 8 is the shortest, so I'm going to put 8 with A and 15 with B. We're trying to find C. Okay, so what is the formula, Kelly? Kelly, Joseph, what's the formula?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You need to write this down.
What's a 4?
Yes, I have put stars and everything back, Kelly. That's the formula.
You said the
Okay, so if A is 8, we have 8 squared plus B squared is 15 squared
gracious.
equals C squared.
Can I do that?
Okay, Italia, what is 8 squared?
64.
What is 15 squared?
220, I think.
You're close. 225 equals
Oh yeah, just
C
I
squared.
put 5 times 5 this time.
It's okay.
It's early.
And then 64 plus 225. I'll probably let y'all use calculators today.
You talking to me?
Yes. Who else? Who's doing the problem?
Him.
No, you.
Okay,
What is?
309.
No.
300 and...
289. Good job, Italia.
No, I put 84. I didn't put 64.
All right, so
84.
200. So 64 plus 225 is 289. Now, based on what we did yesterday, Italia, how do I get rid of this guy?
You have to, like, square root both sides.
You have to square root both sides.
Square rooted.
I'm doing okay.
Okay, so what is the square root of 289?
Uh,
If 15 times 15 is 225,
16. 17.
there you go. 17 equals C.
Okay.
So 17 is the hypotenuse.
I thought A was your hypotenuse.
Look right here. A, B, C is always the longest side.
Oh, okay.
Hypotenuse.
So this takes what we learned yesterday, right? And we're applying it. Okay, star. Does anyone have any questions? All you're doing is plugging in information. Do y'all see that? Tanner, do you see that? Kelly, wake up. Natalia, wake up. Y'all are going to have to be able to do this.
I've been yawning.
If
I just yawned.
the answer is not a perfect, oops. If the answer is not a perfect square,
Then, yeah.
leave it as a radical. Now, next year when you're in Algebra 1, you're going to have to simplify it. But this year, right now, 7th grade, I'm not going to ask you to do that. For example, c squared equals 47. Okay, to take that out of a square, we're going to square root both of them. Is this a perfect square? Joseph, is this a perfect square? Kelly, is this a perfect square? No. 49 would be, but this is not. So then the answer will be C equals square root of 47.
Wait, what is it? Did you put positive or negative in front of it?
No, I'm not going to ask you to do that.
But, and you should.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
yeah. You can. It's not going to be wrong. Today, I'm just like giving you a relaxer on that.
Yeah, okay.
And by the way, probably on a test or quiz, because you have a quiz tomorrow, I believe. I'm not going to take off if you accidentally leave off the plus and minus, because you're in 7th grade. If you forget that, it's really not the end of the world in 7th grade. Next year, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, ladies, it's important, right? Yeah. So you might as well practice it now, but as far as taking points off of a quiz or test, I would not do that to y'all. Because this is brand new, you're in advanced math. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Any questions so far? This is basically all that you are doing. Okay. In fact, in the past, I've done very little examples. Okay. Here's a star. You may also find the length of a leg given one leg and the hypotenuse.
Who comes up with all these names?
So you may also find the length of a leg if you're given one leg and the hypotenuse. For example, let's say they told you the hypotenuse is 16, and they didn't tell you which leg, but the leg is 7. So, but they didn't tell you which leg, so you don't know. But in this case, it doesn't matter, because when it comes to the hypotenuse is the only side of a right triangle that you can't get wrong. It's the hypotenuse is a hypotenuse every time. Leg A and B, you can interchange, and it won't make a difference. So, for example, like I said, I always tell my students in the beginning to draw their picture. I have A, B, and C.
Oh, yeah, because they're both squared, but if it was like a to the third power times b to the second power.
Exactly. You nailed it. Because they both a squared plus b squared. It doesn't matter if you switch the numbers. It's still going to come out the same because you're adding them. But Italia, that's a good example of why it doesn't matter, because they're both squared. It would be different if like it was a cubed plus b squared or something like that. So because they're both being squared, Italia, that was a very good example of why it doesn't matter. Okay, the hypotenuse is 16. So Joseph, hypotenuse, A, B, or C?
C.
Very good. So we know this is 16. They said the leg is 7. We don't know if it's A or B, so I'm just going to choose A, just for the heck of it. Okay? All right, so Kelly, what is the formula?
Square root of 2.
Joseph, what's the formula?
A squared plus b squared plus c squared.
No.
Kelly Hua. You've got to have this memorized.
I know, but I don't know how to say it.
A,
So what I'm
say it
thinking
with
is
me, say it with me. A squared.
A squared times
No, not times. Let's start over. A squared.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Say it again.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Past
The problem
tense
is-
squared.
Did you say plus or plus?
Plus
All right, so say it with me. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
I didn't know how to say squared. I forgot what it was.
Past
Okay.
tense.
So
Squared.
you want to say
No.
A, hey, if
Squared.
you want to say A to the power of 2 plus B to the power of 2 equals C to the power of 2, that's perfect as well.
I'll put C to the
Or if you
power.
can say A little 2 plus B little 2 equals C little 2.
I thought the
Don't
twos
say
were
that in Dr.
exponents.
Jack's class.
They are exponents.
I know, but what I wanted to say was A exponent 2 plus B exponent
Hey, as long as you know what you're doing, then it doesn't matter. All right, so what is A, Kelly?
A is 7.
So we do 7 squared plus, do we know what B is?
No, so it stays B squared.
And then we have 16 squared, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 7 squared is, children,
49.
plus B squared equals what's 16 squared?
Oh, hang on. I'm still writing.
196.
Oh, don't say it.
Valeria, get to work.
223.
256.
Dang it, I just got it.
All right,
That's close.
Now. question. What do we do now? Joseph?
Divide by 49.
Why are we dividing by 49? What am I trying to do?
Find B squared.
So what do I need to do? I tell you, put your hand down. What do I need to do, Joe? Why do I need to divide? You're gonna be so mad. You want me to give you a hint?
Fine.
Intruder alert.
Subtraction.
There you go.
I knew it. But it
Because it's
opposite,
opposite. Because
right.
you added it, so you do the opposite.
Shh. Okay.
I know.
You knew what you're talking about, didn't you, Joseph?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I said you're gonna be mad, because you were nailing it yesterday. So, yes, we have to do the opposite here. Since it's a positive 49, we're going to subtract from both sides because we have to isolate the variable. We have to get b squared all by itself. So, b squared equals 207. Now, what do I do?
What about 200?
Me?
Yeah,
Where
Square B squared.
huh?
You have to square both.
That's right. We have to square both sides.
Square both.
Now, I'm going to just go ahead for the sake of time and tell you this is not a perfect square. So then we're just going to leave it.
There's something wrong with these letters. I keep writing.
Just not figuring that out. I'm just kidding. So this is not a perfect square. So we leave it like that.
Nope. Okay, listen. Because you know where you put 256, right?
Yeah.
I put 162 because like 16 is the power of 2.
Oh my goodness.
I very often then like earlier, I was right like when I was telling you like the answer and stuff, and I was getting it wrong. That's because I was writing the wrong stuff down on my paper. I am like out of it.
You need caffeine or something. Okay. Now,
Tired.
question. Do you three understand how to do this?
No.
Yes.
You really don't?
No.
Are you joking?
No.
This is joking.
Okay.
Stalling.
Okay, so all you do is plug in the information into this formula and solve. Do you understand?
My phone.
You need to do another problem? Okay.
I'm trying to waste time. I'm bored.
Then you're gonna end up with homework.
I know. That's fine.
I think you're gonna be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and set y'all free.
Yay!
I've suddenly forgotten all the material.
No, you have not.
I'm dumbfounded.
You're dumbfounded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
We're gonna take a book and this right
all you do, Italia, you take what they give you,
here.
plug it in, and solve.
No habla inglés.
Oh my god.
467
This is a book.
numbers.
I wrote the wrong page. I wrote 456, and I heard you say 467. I am not okay.
Yeah. I think it's
You are not today, are you?
I heard that.
You're not okay.
7 plus 5.
Plus 5.
7 plus 5.
Alright, that's all you. Well, no, hold on.
1 through 15. 1.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
You didn't hear nothing. Miss Rogers.
Yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna have y'all do today.
By YouTube.
This is due Wednesday. You
Wednesday.
have a quiz tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
On Wednesday.
Alright.
Make Miss Rogers famous.
Bye, YouTube people.
See ya.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Weird.
No, I
Please
was
forget
positive.
to